Yes, good morning everyone. Yes, 21st April 2022. Okay, the Hindu newspaper. Let's see which are the important articles. Yes, these are the important articles. Largely, we have tried to cover some important articles from prelims perspective because those on editorial page or op-ed page, these articles are already we have covered in last week. Okay, in previous week. So look at the first page. Yes, so PM announces visas for Ayush therapy. Okay, on first page there is one news which talks about visas for Ayush therapy. So you should know that how India is promoting medical tourism. Okay, you can give such one example whenever we talk about tourism sector, medical tourism, if suppose the question is there in GS3 paper, economy part. Okay, yes. Then on bottom side, Arunachal, Assam to form panel to solve border dispute. So earlier we have seen recently there was agreement between Assam and Meghalaya to solve the border dispute. Okay, the similar way now Assam is also trying to reach out the Arunachal Pradesh government to solve the border dispute. Basically, Assam is having the border with a majority of the other remaining small states in Northeast India, and they have some border issues, undemarcated, or let's say there are let's say conflicting claims over the border areas, right? So now the Assam government is reaching out to these small states, other states, to solve that border dispute. Okay. Now come to page number 6. Important news, sea may inundate many cities by 2050. A new study which shows that there will be increasing sea level rise and Indian cities like in Kochi in Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram and other cities like Chennai, Mumbai, Kolkata, they will be facing inundation. Okay, you can quote such kind of studies when we talk about the impact of global warming, climate change and subsequent, let's say, sea level rise. Then on right hand side you can see that Bihar BJP to mark Kunwar Singh Jayanti as a grand event. So yes, the 1857 we can say leader from Bihar, the leader of that revolt from Bihar. Yes, so we will try to cover all these leaders of 1857 revolt and their, let's say, area of, we can say, revolt where they were active and the British officers who suppressed this revolt. Such kind of match the following kind of questions UPSC asks from this topic. On bottom side, two important news. You can see buildings can be constructed in Mars with space bricks. Okay, the scientists from ISRO and ISC Bangalore, okay, so they have developed this or let's say manufactured space bricks with the help of soil from Mars. So this is good thing. From science and technology perspective, we can take input here. Then give priority to tilting trends, not K-rail, the expert. Okay, the expert in this field has given 3 choices for the Kerala state government. Instead of building that going for that silver line project, so he has proposed 3 choices before Kerala government, which are alternatives, sustainable alternatives, which we can say have least impact on the environment and ecology, biodiversity of the state. We will try to find out which are these 3 options or choices given. We can use them directly in our answer. Okay. Yes. So I wanted to tell about this on page number 8, unfounded apprehensions about this act. So we are talking about here Criminal Procedure Identification Act. When this bill was introduced in the parliament and when it was passed, there almost 2-3 articles appeared. We have discussed this in last 2 weeks. Okay, so the same thing is discussed again. Also, this week in ED lectures, editorial discussion lecture, this topic will be covered again in detail by the faculty. Okay, and also Delhi MCA Act denuded spirit of federalism. This topic also we covered on bottom side. So there was one bill which united 3 such, let's say, municipal corporations in Delhi NCR region. Okay, so the provisions of that bill and how it affects the federalism. So that thing already we have discussed when this bill was enacted, or we can say passed in the parliament. So same thing is discussed here again. But the important article on page number 9, op-ed page, when the stars came out. Okay, so this article is talking about the James Webb telescope. Okay, so how this telescope was built with the collaborative efforts of different international agencies, independent scientists, private companies. So they collaborated, and how this, let's say, some of the features of this telescopes are mentioned, how it is different from the earlier variant, that is Hubble telescope, है ना. तो ऐसे आपको GS3 मेंस एग्जामिनेशन में there is one syllabus topic, science and technology. So there was one question about Juno mission by UPSC in mains examination. Details of Juno mission, let's say the objective of Juno mission they asked. Same manner there can be question on James Webb telescope, because it is one of the major human endeavor of 21st century. ठीक है? So as to understand the origin of universe. Right, so that's why it is important. Also there can be question in prelims examination. Okay, so yes, we'll try to find out the details here. Okay, fine. So text and context is fine. Now, you can see on page number 12, Nirmala Sitharaman, our finance minister, has urged IMF to assist Sri Lanka. So yes, India is requesting IMF here to help Sri Lanka to deal with its BOP crisis. Okay, so we can expect such package in near future. War may dominate Johnson's agenda. So yes, UK Prime Minister is going to visit India, Boris Johnson. So we'll try to find out the outcome when he is visiting. जो उसका outcome होगा तब उस time पे discuss करेंगे वो. Okay. Fine. On page number 14, 6th Scorpion takes to water. Okay, so Scorpion class submarine INS Wakshir. So it was, let's say, it sailed into the waters for sea trials. Okay, and it is 6th and last Scorpion class, we can say, submarine manufactured under Project 75 by Mascot Docks Private Limited Company. Okay, so we'll try to see this from security perspective. Okay, so yes, these are the important articles. Let's go in detail. First one, give priority to tilting trains, not K-rail. Yes, so how does this tilting train work? Which are these three, let's say, options, choices given by the expert here? We all know that Silver Line project is to some extent going to result into loss of biodiversity. Also, it may aggravate the situation in Kerala in terms of increasing number of landslides, flooding situation. We have discussed so many articles, and also ED lecture also detailed this topic. Now, as a way forward, we can give the alternatives. Alternatives suggested by expert. First one, instead of going after standalone projects cut off from the main lines like the Silver Line, states should explore the possibility of introducing tilting trains in the existing broad gauge rail tracks, which will allow Kerala to increase speed of trains by about 20 to 30%. How tilting trains works? In the same manner, when the cars, or we can say that bikes, tilt on the curved road. Generally curves are there in mountainous region. Okay, in plain region generally roads are straight, but in mountainous region there are curved roads, and during curved roads there will be some kind of tilting of the vehicles so as to maintain the speed. We learn this in 11th-12th physics, है ना? तो वो tilting करके हमने वो center of mass वगैरह वगैरह consider किया था, याद है? Okay, so tilting trains which have mechanism of enabling higher speed on a regular broad gauge tracks tilt while negotiating a bend or curve on the track, just as a motorbike on a winding road, जो curve होता है वहाँ पर. Okay, second option given here is that the state can straighten the curves in the existing lines once the doubling works are over. Okay, straighten the curves जहाँ जहाँ possible है. Okay, whenever, let's say wherever it is possible, if suppose the existing broad gauge is having certain turns, so they can be straightened, the track can be straightened, so overall speed of the trains automatically will increase. Okay. Third option is that the state can explore the possibility of constructing a dedicated line on the broad gauge for running high speed or semi high speed trains. For example, at present we have this semi high speed trains in North India, Vande Bharat scheme. Okay, or Vande Bharat train, sorry. Okay, so those trains are semi high speed, around 160 km per hour, the highest speed have been achieved. For these trains, there can be dedicated, let's say, line on the broad gauge. Instead of having silver line separate project, so such kind of dedicated, we can say, broad gauge running high speed can be there, and it can be integrated with existing train routes, as it is broad gauge. Okay, so it simply this would allow the state to integrate the new lines with the existing ones. Okay, so these alternatives can be written in answer. Okay. Next, sea may inundate many cities by 2050. Okay, so one of the private institute, RMSI, Noida-based IT consulting firm, on intergovernmental panel on climate change reports for key coastal cities. Due to rising sea levels by 2050, a significant number of population, property and infrastructure in Kochi and Thiruvananthapuram, along with 4 other cities like Mumbai, Chennai, Vizag, Mangalore, will be underwater. Okay, so if there is a storm surge, in addition to this, induced by cyclones, the area of inundation will be much higher. Okay, so because of storm surges, of course, the inundation will be further increased. Okay, so you can quote this study whenever we talk about impact of global warming, sea level rise and all. When the stars came out, so we are talking about this James Webb telescope. Yes. The telescope is the result of international collaboration between NASA, European Space Agency and Canadian Space Agency, along with many such independent scientists and private companies. Okay, it was imagined as coming together of many cutting edge technologies. Basically, the collaboration is to pool the human resource, knowledge and technologies, and together, let's say it is considered as human endeavor. So yes, the telescope will give us new knowledge about origins of the universe. जैसे ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हमें देखना है कि क्यों ये टेलीस्कोप लॉन्च किया है, बिकॉज इट इज इसेंशियली एन इंफ्रारेड स्पेक्ट्रम टेलीस्कोप. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द कंपैरिजन विद द अर्लियर हबल टेलीस्कोप. Two important differences. One is that it is infrared telescope, while Hubble worked largely in UV and visible light range. It will allow us to stare into beginnings of cosmic dawn, the period 250 million years after the Big Billion, when the light began to break through the cloud of mist and the first stars and galaxies began to form. Also, this telescope will take us back to 150 million years further than the Hubble, closer to when it all began. तो ये एक difference उसमें हम बोलेंगे. Then the project seeks to understand how galaxies form and evolve. It will look for evidence of dark matter, study exoplanets, capture images of planets in our solar system and other such cosmic curiosities. So this knowledge will further enrich not only the science subject, physical sciences, but also humanities and social sciences. Now, the further differences, you can see here that the new collective comprising of free scientists and engineers, it basically they launched this at chosen Lagrange point. It can be asked in prelims examination. आपने उसका diagram भी देखा होगा, Lagrange point. Okay, what is Lagrange point? It is a point where the Earth's and Sun's gravitational forces are balanced. That is called as Lagrange point. It can be asked in prelims examination. The telescope that was lighter than Hubble, उससे भी lighter है, but had the mirror 6 times larger. Mirror. Yes, 6 times larger, and it was very, important and huge difficulty. Yes, placing this mirror in, let's say, that distance. Hubble was placed only 550 km from the Earth's surface. This is also important distance, and this James Webb telescope is located 1.5 million km away from the Earth's surface. Now, taking that telescope to that distance and then we can say arranging that mirror at that particular location, it was a very difficult task. It was achieved here. Okay, so differences you are understanding. 6 times larger mirror is there. At the same time, the distance is farther. Okay, and then 18 hexagonal beryllium mirrors first had to be folded to fit available space in the Ariane rocket, and then unfolded in the deep space to make a single mirror with nanometric precision. तो ये मिरर जैसे तैसे वहां पे लेके नहीं गए हैं, तो पहले फोल्ड था, फिर वहां पे पोजीशन करने के बाद उसको अनफोल्ड किया, फिर अरेंज किया है. So such kind of precision is achieved. It is, that's why we can say that the marvel or the one of the major human endeavor in space science of 21st century. Okay, there are many other instruments also, but this main mirror is the important aspect. Okay, fine. Now, yes, Bihar BJP to mark Kunwar Singh Jayanti as a grand event. So we should know that Kunwar Singh was the leader of 1857 revolt from Bihar. So we'll revise from history perspective the leaders and the British officer who suppressed the revolt there. So we all know in Jhansi and Gwalior region, Rani Laxmikant and Tatya Tope, and it was suppressed by General Hugh Rose. Okay, then Kanpur, Nana Sahab and Sir Colin Campbell. Then Lucknow, Begum Hazrat Mahal, Henry Lawrence. Okay, Delhi, Bahadur Shah second, John Nicholson. Then Bihar, Kunwar Singh, William Taylor. Bareilly, Khan Bahadur Khan, Sir Colin Campbell. So you can see Sir Colin Campbell at 2 places. Okay, so Kanpur and Bareilly. Then lastly, Allahabad and Banaras, Maulvi Liaquat Ali, Colin Onsal. Okay, so this match the following, although UPSC will not ask these British officers as the match the following, generally वो state PCS वाले पूछते हैं. इतना factual जो हम बोलते हैं तो, but in general for mains perspective also you should remember name. ठीक है, तो मेंस में भी आपको ये पता होना चाहिए. From mains perspective for 1857 revolt you should prepare first of all the causes of revolt. Second, how this revolt progressed. Okay, when start and the progress, how it spread, the different chronological events, and then how it was suppressed by the Britishers. And then you should let's say also prepare for the causes of failure of this revolt. ये सारी चीजें बहुत ही important है मेंस perspective से. Okay, yes. The building can be constructed in Mars with space bricks. So the scientists from ISRO and IISc Bangalore, they have developed way to make bricks from Martian soil with the help of bacteria and urea. What they have done, the team first made the slurry of mixing Martian soil with guar gum. गुआर गम याद है आपको? ये क्यों न्यूज में था कुछ साल पहले? यूपीएससी ने क्वेश्चन भी पूछा है इस पे प्रीलिम्स में, गुआर गम पे. फ्रैक्चरिंग टेक्निक जो होता है ना,
yes sir, it is used in that sir.
कौन सा गैस होता है वो अपना?
Natural gas.
नहीं
Shale gas. Shale gas.
शेल गैस फ्रैक्शन टेक्नोलॉजी जो होती है उसमें ग्वार गम यूज होता है एंड दैट ग्वार इज प्रोड्यूस्ड इन इंडिया इन राजस्थान, okay, in certain area of Rajasthan, and suddenly there the prices of guar suddenly increased, the land prices also increased. उस टाइम पे वो न्यूज़ में था, यूपीएससी ने प्रीलिम्स में वो पूछ लिया है. Okay. This guar gum mixed with Martian soil, the bacterium called as Spora sarsina pasteurii, यूरिया एंड निकेल क्लोराइड, ये सब मिक्स किया है उन्होंने, एंड दिस स्लरी कैन बी पोर्ड इनटू मोल्ड्स ऑफ एनी डिजायर्ड शेप, एंड ओवर फ्यू डेज द बैक्टीरिया कन्वर्ट द यूरिया इनटू क्रिस्टल्स ऑफ कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट. Okay, these crystals along with biopolymers secreted by the microbes act as a cement holding the soil particles together. Okay, so in the past the team had made bricks out of lunar soil using the similar method also. Okay, so yes, you should remember such kind of developments are happening. Yes, Assam gets hydrogen plant. So you should know that it is talking about green hydrogen. Okay. Exploration and Production Major Oil India Limited has commissioned India's first 99.99% pure green hydrogen plant in Assam. So we are talking about this green hydrogen. Government has launched which mission? National Hydrogen Energy Mission. Last year in budget, union budget, this mission was announced. Green hydrogen pilot plant set up in central Assam, Jorhat, has capacity for producing 10 kg of hydrogen a day, which can be later increased to 30 kg a day. Now you should know green hydrogen meaning. Yes, the green hydrogen is the hydrogen gas produced from the renewable sources of energy. Okay, so that's why it is called as green hydrogen, and it is being considered as the most cleanest source of energy for future generation. It may replace the fossil fuels. Okay. Next, 6 Scorpion takes to the water. We are talking here about INS Wakshir, and yes, 6 submarines were built under Project 75 by Mazgaon docks. Okay, for let's say Navy had, let's say, agreement with the Mazgaon Docks Private Limited under Project 75. Then earlier, let's say, Scorpion class submarines were first Kalvari, INS Kalvari, commissioned in 2017, INS Khanderi, then INS Wagir, INS Karanch, INS Vela, and at now present one INS Wakshir. The inauguration ceremony, that article mentions that Navy has this tradition of inaugurating these naval ships by women. Okay, naming ceremony as well as inauguration ceremony is let's say taking place by the hands of women. ठीक है, तो वो नेवी का एक ट्रेडिशन है. ठीक है, ऐसे ही मैंने बताया कि जनरल नॉलेज होता है ना एक. ठीक है, बट दिस इज रिलेवेंट टू आवर एग्जामिनेशन. Okay, what should be the answer to this question? Okay, so we have to find the correctly matched pairs, and yes, Kanpur Nana Sahib, this is correctly matched. Lucknow Khan Bahadur Khan, this is incorrect. Begum Hazrat Mahal Lucknow is there, and Bareilly Khan Bahadur. तो कैसे याद रखेंगे? या कुछ टेक्निक बनानी है खुद से ही कि कैसे याद रखना है ये लीडर्स का. ठीक है, कि आप ये याद रख सकते हैं बरेली बेगम, ऐसा कुछ याद रखिए. ठीक है, सॉरी, बरेली बहादुर खान याद रखिए. उसके बाद में लखनऊ है तो आप याद रख सकते हैं नवाब टाइप का, हाँ नवाब या बेगम टाइप का, ऐसे याद रख सकते हैं कुछ वर्डिंग्स जो है. बिहार कंवर सिंह, यस यू कैन रिमेंबर दैट. कानपुर ऑल्सो एवरीवन नोज नाना साहब. झांसी एवरीवन नोज. इवन दिल्ली एवरीवन नोज. ओके, ही वाज द लास्ट डिसेंडेंट ऑफ मुगल. ठीक है, Yes, so that's why 1 and 4 is correctly matched, 2 and 3 is incorrectly matched. So D is correct answer. Yes. Yes. Any question from your side? Okay? Fine. Let us start.